everybody, and welcome to your week ahead energy reading. I'm recording this on the 12th of September. I feel like it's really interesting. I'm about to use a time traveler's deck, and that theme is feeling really strong for me right now, which is, it's a bit strange in itself, really, isn't it? And I was about to say, I feel like this is a reading for the next 2 weeks, even though it's a week ahead energy reading, and rather than a timeless reading. But I don't know, there's something about, even if you find this in the future, it is in some way relevant to you right now. So I guess in a sense it's timeless, but it also does feel like it relates to this period in time. I don't know what's going on. There's something weird in the energy. A couple of other things. I'm recording this, as I said, 12th of September. It is the day after an event has taken place in America that has large parts of the world talking, theorizing, all kinds of things, hopefully coming together and realizing we're not actually enemies, that we are being kept divided for a reason. And the other thing that was coming through quite strongly, and this song comes through every time I feel like there's a shift on the collective level, and the event yesterday absolutely could have caused this shift or been part of this shift, is the song It's the End of the World as We Know It. So yeah, I definitely feel a big timeline shift for the collective. Messages for the Mind Body Soul Transformation Collective for the week ahead. It was a transformation card. Anything else, Spirit? I just felt cool to look at this card. I'm going to leave it in there for now. 29 card, Peace. St. Francis of Italy. Anything else, Spirit? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Bottom of the deck, Purification, the Ganges River, India. And the last card of the deck, which is a 44 card. That number has been everywhere for the last few days for me. It's a common number I see anyway, but Vitality, the Sun. And then a 38 card, Strength, Joan of Arc. Transformation, Strength, Vitality, Purification. I have not used this deck before, so we are going to just have a look in the book and see key messages from here. This is the Transformation card, Rumi. Transformation is a dramatic and complete change in appearance or a shift in your perception of yourself. It occurs when you have the faith to step outside the confines of your ordinary reality. When you alter the normal way you view yourself, you will expand into a greater awareness of your place in the universe. Right now, you are ready to reach into the invisible yet very real realm of spirit. Even though you can't see what's ahead beneath the surface of life, powerful forces are supporting you on the journey ahead. Trust the process, have faith in yourself. Use dance, poetry, and music to reach the Creator and step into your transformation. This card indicates that enlightenment is ahead. The key words for this transformation to unfold are trust and faith. I kept seeing the trust, the truth, and the stability card when I was shuffling. Then, as I said, we've got Strength, Joan of Arc, which is a 38 card. We tend to think of strength as an outer display of power. However, true strength is silent and deep. It comes when you are willing to stand your ground and speak your truth, even if others disagree with you. If you draw this card at a time when those around you are unsupportive, the message is to hold your ground. Step up, speak up. Your strength will give birth to more strength. This card can also suggest that those around you need your strength to support them. Don't be afraid to share with others in need. There is a wellspring of power within you, angels beside you supporting and loving you. That feels with when I'm recording this and what's just taken place yesterday for someone that absolutely stood their ground and spoke their truth when many others, often myself, disagreed. And I've seen some of the discourse around that tragic event that took place yesterday being that it was not just a silencing of them, but a silencing, almost a warning to other people that are speaking their truth right now. And I'm feeling like there's a really strong message in this: hold our ground, step up, speak up. Your strength will give birth to more strength. Wow. And then, as I said, the last card, which was Vitality, is the last card of the deck. This is truly a time of expansion. Don't hold back. Your ability to sense and respond to the energy fields around you is expanding. The sun symbolizes energy, positivity, clarity, and confidence. Sunshine can bring about self-assurance and joy. Vitality, health, abundance, passion, and love are all expanding in your life. If you've been thinking about stepping into the role of healer, this is the time. This is also a sign to look to your own desires. Do not be a wilting flower about letting others know what you need. Allow your emotions the freedom to be expressed. It's important to know that you don't need to run on your own resources. Simply allow yourself to be a channel for the life force energy of the universe to flow through you and replenish your soul and the souls of those around you. Wow. That is really beautiful. Definitely with Joan of Arc here, there's something about fighting for what we believe in. I also think there might be something there around France. So give me a second. Yeah, okay. I knew there was something happening in the political space in France and I wasn't across the details. It looks like the Prime Minister has just been stood down, a new Prime Minister put in place, and there is a lot of political unrest within the country, not just in France, so we can see that really in some ways globally right now. And I'm really getting this upsurgence of left and right extreme ends of political ideals. But not only this, obviously there's a need for those to meet in the middle for us to truly step into our strength, our power, and fight for what we believe in. And that's been a big theme that's come through with this event that's happened this week for me, that I've been really sitting with, reflecting on it, and trying to articulate in the things that I have been speaking about. But I think with these kind of events, particularly as lies and deceptions of big institutions, structures, political parties, whatever it might be, politicians, businesses, organizations, all of that, all of the stuff that I often mention in these weekend energy readings as the structures and systems that are crumbling, as they start to be questioned and or revealed, these two extremes, there's something about these two extremes recognizing their common enemy. And I just saw a quote I've seen it before, but I just read a quote not long ago. I've lost it now. But something about if we've got a common enemy, then we're essentially friends. There's something about that coming through in this energy. And I've got chills as I say that. Which is what needed to happen. We've been so divided that we needed to recognize that the enemy isn't each other. It's the thing that's been dividing us, the things that have been dividing us. Rumi very much, Rumi's poetry and everything, it's very much love-based. I don't know. There feels like there's something there. But anyway, let's go to the tarot. I'm going to use the Muse Tarot deck first. The Fool sitting there at the bottom of the deck. We'll see if we see it again. Whew. Something about Canada too. Actually, I was getting a Canada vibe when I was looking at France. I'm not sure if something's happening in Canada right now too. There's the Fool back. Sun's out twice. Whew. I'm just going to look up the Canada piece because, seems similar. The political transition obviously happened earlier in the year with Trudeau stepping down and the new Prime Minister coming in. They're really being hit hard by the US tariffs. This feels really weird for me to be talking politics in these messages, but it's coming through quite strongly. Let's see what wants to come through. Is it? Thank you, Spirit. See what that is. Page of Pentacles. Show you the card. See what else comes out. I'm getting something around homegrown. I mean, I was just reading about the push in Canada right now for a Buy Canada to promote in response to the tariffs so that they're buying locally made products. And I'm getting a real... I also just had Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So I'm getting something about an attempt to get back financial... I feel like financial is the wrong word. It's almost like that loses its weight, but the equivalent of whatever that might be, to make it a more local exchange, local production, homegrown production at the nation level, but I'm even getting more so the local community level. There's something about a new way of obtaining and exchanging, and like I'm really avoiding using words like paying, because it feels like it's a different kind of exchange to get the resources that you as an individual might need, and how can almost like a barter exchange kind of system from the ground up, from the ground level. What is going on in this reading? Wow. Okay, anything else on that, Spirit? And then I'll clarify the other transformation. Anything else on that? Well, thank you. There's that full card. 1, 2, 3. The Hermit at the bottom of the deck. The Empress, Death, Nine of Cups. Okay, as I said, we've got the Fool out, New Beginning, and then 2 other cards that fell out were the Two of Wands and the Four of Wands. Yeah, wow. It's a new way of doing things where we create stability together with the Four of Wands. Something about community. Definitely, really, so many chills. Really strong community vibes. I almost feel like I need a different deck. I just split to the Three of Pentacles, which is exactly what I mean. Somehow people are coming together, and that's at the start I was talking about bringing both sides of it. For this to happen, it requires both sides of the divisions to come together and recognize their common enemy, and to create systems that are outside of those systems and structures that are the common enemy. Like a real rebellion, revolution kind of energy. But, I'm covered in chills. I'm getting it's a revolution that's much more focused in love and care and support for each other than fighting against the system. It's like, we don't want that. We're over here doing our own thing from here on out. Try stop us. And a split to the lovers. It's both sides coming together. Oh, wow. And there's something about this vitality card coming in for me now too, because this was that life force energy, and recognizing that we have access to endless life force energy that we can tap into to refill our souls and the souls of those around us. It is recognizing that these systems and structures and even ways of living that we've existed within have cut us off from that. And I mean that both in terms of, I mean that in a lot of ways. There's a lot coming through there. It's like the way we feed the system has been developed to purposely disconnect us from our own power, from our own recognition of what we are about to do, that was even possible. It was like we were so reliant on these systems and structures for whatever, laws, for food, for education, for money, for all of the things that we've become reliant on. And they've been set up in a way to keep us disconnected from that and to make us fear questioning that or living outside of the system. I just noticed Archangel Michael on this Joan of Arc deck. Just there as an angel. Living outside of the system. But we're recognizing the access to the infinite abundance that exists within the universe that is available to us outside of these systems. And there's definitely something there around a much more balanced and equal approach to that within this new way of accessing that. I think it's also disconnection from source itself, from the divinity, and that's that transformation card. That was, whatever it said there about tapping into the divine, connecting with the divine. We've been disconnected from that through everything, including the systems and structures that have been set up to make us feel like we were connecting with the divine, but actually to outsource that outside of ourselves. It's remembering that exists within us. Holy moly. And that's what this Virgo season's been all about. Remember, we've been getting a lot of Virgo energy, the idea of isolation to connect with the divine wisdom that exists within you. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else from this deck? Anything more on this strength piece, maybe? Standing our ground, speaking our truth. What do you want us to know there? 2, 3, I'm going to 4. Thank you. The Devil. The Devil with the Ace of Cups underneath it. To me, this card represents those systems and structures that I was just speaking about, the ways in which we've been tied into them, disconnected from our light, from our vitality, from our truth, kept in fear of stepping outside, of questioning all of this. And I can see so much questioning of all of these things, including the truth, happening right now globally. And the Ace of Cups is called the Ace of Emotions in this deck. There's something here about moving more, connecting with our heart and moving from our heart. That's giving us the strength that we're going to need to step into escaping all of this energy. I will, after this, I know I'm talking very collective right now, which is feeling like a huge message. I also just got something about a dragon energy. Big time. Anyway, what I was about to say, I will do an individual message, which is very likely to be similar, but I'm feeling like this is collective right now. And anything more about the vitality piece, please, Spirit. 1, 2, just 3. That was a pile. Knight of Wands down the bottom. And for some reason, I just took 3 cards off and got the World. What's that card sticking out there? Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Earth, Fire, Energy, and the World. Let me see what those 2 cards were in the middle. These are all just bottom of the deck cards, but it feels important. Well, that was top of the deck. This was bottom of the deck. Oh, I think I showed you the World. And then in between the World and the Knight of Wands is a 4 of Cups, 4 of Emotions. and 9 of Wands, Wounded Warrior. Let me just look at the cards that did come out. Holy moly. Okay. What do I want to speak to first? Wow. There's a few things coming through here for me, just with the bottom of the deck cards. As I said, between the Knight of Wands, which is moving forward very quickly, very excitedly, without hesitation almost. Actually, these are really similar cards. It's like fighting for what you believe in, fighting it. Something about at all costs as a result of recognizing that devil energy, but also with the 9 of Wands here, it's the ways. This is like the Wounded Warrior, Wounded Warrior card. It's recognizing the ways in which your journey has kept you disconnected from your own power, from your vitality, from your light, from your love, and moving forward away from that. And I'm really noticing with this 4 of Cups card, which I've just never spent that much time looking at in this deck before, that she's sitting here looking at the 3 empty cups, which is what most 4 of Cups look like. And usually there's a cup offering behind her that she can't see, but I'm recognizing here she's existing within this cup. This is like the infinite well that we have available to us of whatever, literally whatever. And with the World and the Knight of Pentacles here, which is very earth energy, that's earth herself reminding us that she's here. Like, everything that we need comes from her anyway. We don't need these systems and structures. She has it all to offer us. I also am getting something about earth and fire energy. I'm not sure exactly what that looks like. I may clarify that. Anyway, the cards that actually came out to clarify the Sun was the Hermit again, which is this Virgo energy, isolation, connecting with the divine within you. You can notice the sun behind her. The Wheel of Fortune, divine timing, things moving forward. And then we've got the Hierophant and the Emperor. The Hierophant is the traditional card in the tarot deck in terms of structures and systems. It can speak to things like religion, like education, like marriage. And I do think it's interesting that it's come out, given they're the things we were kind of just speaking about. It is also a very spiritual, very divine card, but often when we're thinking about it, it is within some kind of structure. That doesn't have to be religion. That could be the way you have your life structured to connect with the divine. And maybe there is a piece there about recognizing, rather than outsourcing, that brings it back to yourself. The other card that came out was the Emperor, Aries energy. This is Taurus energy. This is divine masculine energy too. I saw the Empress at some point. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck earlier. Emperor. Right, I'm going to get another deck and clarify some of these. I'm going to clarify the Emperor first because that's just where I landed. Oh, I just split to the Devil again. Wow. Sometimes the Emperor is like boss energy, leadership, power, and maybe with the Hermit here and the Wheel and the Hierophant being the systems and structures, and the Emperor being divine masculine, leadership, power, which is what feeds into or leads, not divine at all, but masculine energy leading most of these things. There's the Fool again too. There might be something about isolating, disconnecting ourselves from those systems, but I was clarifying the Vitality card. Let's see. Let's just see. Keep seeing that Fool. Right, thank you, Spirit. Why is the Emperor card here? High Priestess. Literally just said I just saw that. The High Priestess. Wisdom, inner voice, strength, power. Anything more? The Tower. Enlightenment. Yeah, there's something about the divine masculine connecting with, yeah, okay. Something about the divine masculine awakening. Connecting with the divine. Big time. Big time, big time, big time. In a way that I feel like for the feminines, a lot of us have done that very gradually, or in some ways, I think often the dark night of the soul is kind of coming through. There's the Hierophant again, 2 of Cups and the Hierophant. And Justice, wow. But I feel like there's something about the masculine needing a sudden awakening to catch them up to the feminine, or almost to allow, again, it's like both sides of the divisions, not just left versus right, or whatever country versus whatever country, masculine versus feminine, needing to meet in the middle. And so something needs to bring about that balance quickly with the Chariot there. Anything else on that script? Anything else on that? Ace of Pentacles down the bottom of the deck, but the Hierophant. What? Oh my god. The same card's out again. The Emperor. The Hierophant. And the 4 of Cups. See, in this, she's not actually looking, but she's got the 3 empty cups there, and there is the offering of the Ace of Cups, which is love, emotion, yearning, disillusion, boredom. Yeah, and it could be, this could be something to do with what happened yesterday and everything that's going to come out of that wakes the masculines up, makes them start to question the tradition and structure we exist within, and become disillusioned by that. The Emperor card in this deck also says law and order. I've been getting a really strong feeling that the next couple of weeks are going to be really big, which is why I said a couple of weeks for the timeline of this reading. Time Traveler. I'm just going back to the start of this message where that felt really important, and I used that deck. It's like this moment in time that we are in right now, and I literally mean the rest of this month, September 2025. And we're in eclipse season. There's something about this moment in time being a catalyst for a completely new future, the Fool card. My left ear is blocked right now, just the feminine side. I've just split to the Star, Knight of Swords, tensions, conflict, and the Tower, and then harmony. Okay. I'll just go back to the original deck and just see if there's anything else, because this is getting quite long. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else for this collective part of this reading? Nine of Swords, the High Priestess again, Five of Wands, Ace of Wands, Two of Pentacles. There's a couple of messages here, something about messages coming through in your dream space, but also being mindful of how we're being pulled out of our connection with the divine right now, with the Nine of Swords here through anxiety and fear. Really tapping into the energy of hope and really trying to see through the things that divide us currently, go deeper, ask more questions, look at how what is triggering you is a mirror of something within you, rather than jumping straight into judgment of the other side. Ultimately, we're wanting to bring things back into balance and harmony, and we can't do that unless we're willing to really start to sit with the other side of these points of division. All right, I will wrap the collective reading up there. That was a big one. I am going to move on to probably with the same theme, I suspect, but I will restart even with the oracle cards for individual message for each of you. I'm going to use the Dream Gate Oracle, given we just had that message around what's coming through your dreams. Haven't used this deck before, so we will see. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit messages that are of the light for the best and the highest good of all that are on the individual level. Thank you for those that need to receive a message. That card was Celestial Temple, Dream Incubation, Cosmic Downloads, Divine Truths. I can't get rid of this time travel feeling, and what I'm about to say is going to sound crazy. It feels crazy. There is something about time traveling in your dreams and accessing divine wisdom and truth in your dreams. Tapping into the Akashic records. Anything else, Spirit? One, two, thank you. Three. Bottom of the deck, move with grace, optimize light, inner and outer forgiveness. Move with grace. Meet in the middle. And then the card that fell out was Daydream Believer, Soul Messages, Dreamy Solutions, Seed of Discovery. But it fell on the table upright and then spun into reverse. I wouldn't always take oracle cards in reverse, but I literally watched that happen. Daydream Believer, Seeds of Discovery. Let me see what the book says for that card. I'm open to my inner visions. I'm lost and found in my imagination. The language of a daydream is free-flowing energy, like an intuitive current that takes you on a gentle trip along your inner waters. Here you may fantasize or visualize your hopes and desires, or spend time soulfully exploring. There's a couple of things coming through for that card. It's really recognizing the need to... I just realized two cards came out first with that Celestial Temple. But anyway, we'll come back to that. It's recognizing how much the world around us, particularly things like how much we're on our phones and connected to everything that's happening in the world, gets in our head. There's something here around needing to distinguish between what is really your thought, your dream, your intuition, versus what's almost coming through is some form of, the video is about to get weirder, sorry everyone. Some kind of mind control through subliminal messaging. There's something about really being mindful of how much time you're spending on devices in particular, to allow you to familiarize yourself with your own energy a little bit more, your own intuition, your own soul guidance, but also to have less of this, whatever it is, messaging, whatever it is coming through. The other piece, which was a much smaller, more simple, obvious message there, was because you're spending so much time on devices or distracting yourself and not enough time in your own energy, it's a real call to spend some time in your own energy and to lean into to daydreaming, to the hope and visualization of the future that you're wanting to create for yourself and for the world around you. Then, as I said, the first card out was the Celestial Temple. Dream incubation, cosmic downloads, divine truths. There's definitely something about your dreams right now that's really important. And then the other one was familiar steps, recurring dreams, continuum, and reclaimed truths. This deck is called Dreamgate Oracle. So there are a number of dream cards, but not all of them meant to dream. So dreams are really important in this. And there is something about, as I said, time travel and access to Akashic information in your dreams, something about healing in your dreams, healing in the physical sense, and something about revisiting your past in some way, recurring dreams. This could also be past lives, time travel into past lives. Chills all over, and healing aspects of those. But if I'm honest, I'm also almost getting something about changing past lives. What is going on? I'm covered in chills. There's something about shifting past lives and that affecting your current reality. Something about Alice in Wonderland in all of this too. I have a Mad Hatter little charm out. It's feeling very much like Alice in Wonderland kind of energy. I've never really thought about the meaning of Alice in Wonderland before, but it's saying how it can represent a spiritual awakening and the soul's journey. So down the rabbit hole being the initiation, the start of a spiritual journey, a leap into the unknown, the subconscious or altered states of awareness. It mirrors the call to awakening, stepping outside ordinary reality into a deeper, symbolic inner world. Meeting archetypal guides, teachers on the path, the white rabbit representing the spiritual guide who leads Alice towards the awakening. The Cheshire Cat, symbol of paradox and non-duality, teaching Alice that multiple truths can exist and the madness can actually be wisdom. The Caterpillar, a wise mentor asking, "Who are you?" a central spiritual question about identity and soul. And the Mad Hatter, which is the little thing I feel like I've got here, representing breaking out of linear time travel and rigid logic, opening to timelessness. Oh, I just put him upside down. I don't know why I did that. That might be relevant too. The Queen of Hearts, ego, fear, and tyranny. The Queen's constant off with their heads represents the dominance of ego and fear when unchecked. Spiritually, she can be seen as a shadow self, the part of us that must be faced, integrated, or overcome. Wow. As I've said a few times in this video already, when I felt into the September energy, I definitely felt like this was going to be a big next couple of weeks for us. And I felt that in the physical sense that there were going to be lots of things that did make people ask questions, potentially did spark spiritual awakenings. But now that I'm diving into your individual energy, I'm feeling like this is not just happening in the physical realm. There's something happening in the spiritual realm, in the dream realm, that's really shifting things in really big ways. Let's just pull a couple of tarot cards on that, and then we will wrap this one up because that's quite long. Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Wow. That's the devil again. I feel like we're freeing ourselves. Like, this is something about the start of freeing ourselves. Just saw it again, even though it wasn't in the middle. Wow. What's that? Oh, it's there at the top of the deck. Wow. And I keep saying the world. All right, Spirit, what more do you want us to know about, I guess what's happening on the spiritual individual level that speaks to this energy? Thank you. Six of Swords, moving to calmer waters. There's two people on this card, which I think is unusual for a Six Six of Swords card. Anything else to it? Thank you. There's the Nine of Wands again, that Wounded Warrior card, and the Empress, and Strength, bottom of the deck, and the Hermit, and Wheel of Fortune. Oh my goodness. Yeah, very much. Remember we have the Strength card before too with Joan of Arc. Very much recognizing that we don't have to be defined by these things that have wounded us in the past. We can recognize our strength and trust in the receiving, the divine feminine energy of receiving. The cards that came out first was the Six of Swords, which is moving to calmer waters. I'm getting a message here about not looking back though. You see, she's moving on. She's sailing off into a calmer waters. Typically she'd have all of the swords with her in that boat. She doesn't. She's left them behind with someone that is still looking back. I feel like there's a message there that as this awakening event happens, whatever does trigger this awakening in quite a big way, not everyone will choose to move forward and choose to step into this new way of being, choose to step into this new way of existing within the world, receiving, relying on each other. And that is going to be challenging, where there are connections that need to separate as a result of that. And I think there's particular message in this card being at the masculine looking back, that whilst we did have that indication before that whatever this is largely going to impact the masculine energy, it won't be all of them. I'm getting the story about Lot's wife in the Bible where she looks back and turns to, I'm not even sure, stone something. It trusts the path. Then the other cards that came out, Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups and Three of Pentacles. This is coming together, collaboration, working together, building these systems and structures together. In your individual life, it might be new connections coming in that allow you to really build the life that you're wanting to create, the adventurous life that you're wanting to create, given that they're there painting a camper van combi. Offers of love and physical offers as well. Could be a new job, could be some money coming in, a gift of some description. It's like the seeds of the new beginning, the potential of the new beginning, for you to accept, should you choose to move forward and not stay stuck in the past. I'm just wondering, I'm going to ask more about these dreams. Can you tell me more about this dream energy, time travel, past life energy, spirit? Thank you. Oh, that was the card that was there before. Page of Swords. Page of Swords is like gathering knowledge and information. Yeah, I really do get this. Oh, there's the Empress back too. It's like it's a mission in your dreams that you might not be consciously aware of, but there's information available to you. Maybe you need to start writing down your dreams. Pentacles. In the morning when you first wake up, writing down your dreams so you can start to piece these pieces of information together. There's something about piecing the information of your dreams together. It's going to allow you to build something, create something, birth something. Yes, that's true. Okay, we're wrapping it up there. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around this long. I hope that was helpful. It was definitely wilder than I was expecting. I'd love to know if any of this resonates. If you're having wild dreams or anything you want to share below in the comments, please make sure to like and subscribe. It does help this video reach those that might need it and might benefit from it. And I'll speak to you next week. Bye.